Hello Year 1! In today's lesson, we are going to be making treasure coins. Elliot the Midnight Superhero is full of some amazing, exciting words that I think we should use when we start writing our own story. So in the next part of the lesson, I am going to show you what you need to make the treasure coins and how to make them. For this lesson, you will need some paper, a glue stick, a pencil, 2 permanent markers if you have them, something round that you can use to trace, a pair of scissors, and some tin foil. The first step is to get your round thing, and then you place it really carefully on your tin foil. You can use one hand to hold it really steady in place. You're going to have the pencil in your other hand, and you're going to trace around it. You might not be able to see the actual pencil, but the pencil is going to kind of create an indent in the tin foil that will help you cut it out. Okay, so I'm going to trace around it several times. Then, when I take it off, you can see that there is a round circle on the tin foil. Then, get your scissors, and you're going to cut out that circle. That aside, the next step is to get your piece of paper and your glue stick. And sometimes tin foil has a shiny side and a not so shiny side. I want to put the glue on the not shiny side so that my treasure coin will be super, super shiny. So I'm going to put some glue on this side. Then I'm going to put my tin foil circle right in the corner of my paper so that I'll be able to use all of this space to make more treasure coins. So gently push it down so it's stuck on everywhere. Then get your scissors again, and you're going to cut out that circle so that you're going to have a white side and a shiny side. There we go, put that aside. So now I have a shiny side for my treasure coin and a white side. If you have Sharpies at home or any other kind of permanent marker, you can use it to add some decorations on the shiny side. So I'm going to draw a circle around the coin like this, because I went onto Google and I just Googled what do treasure coins look like, and some of them have like an extra line here. So I'm going to copy that. There we go. And some coins even have like ridges along the side. So I'm going to draw some ridges. There we go. And that is how you make your treasure coin. We are going to be writing the words on the white side. So now we are going to read through the story together. And every time we come across a word that we think should go onto our treasure coins, I'm going to stop and I'm going to write the word on a whiteboard. What you can do at home is you can pause the video and you can copy that word onto a piece of paper. Okay? By day, Elliot is quiet. He reads his book, feeds his goldfish, and watches Mr. Smith wash his car. Elliot is such a quiet little thing, say all the grown-ups. But they don't know that when the clock strikes midnight, Elliot is a superhero. One night, Elliot receives an urgent message from the world's most important scientists. I think there is a treasure word in that sentence. I'm going to read it one more time. One night, Elliot receives an urgent message from the world's most important scientists. Which word in that sentence do you think is going to be our treasure word? Urgent, this word here. So what do you think urgent means? Right, so I've written the word urgent on my whiteboard. What do you think urgent means? Urgent means very important. The world's most important scientists have sent him an important message that there's a meteor hurtling towards Earth. So next sentence. A giant meteor is hurtling towards Earth. I think there's another treasure word that can go onto our coins. I'll read it one more time. A giant meteor is hurtling towards Earth. Which word in that sentence do you think is our treasure word? That's right, hurtling. What do you think hurtling means? Let's look at the picture. There's a meteor and then there's an arrow pointing towards Earth. So what do you think the word hurtling means? So I've now written the word hurtling on the whiteboard and you can copy it onto your piece of paper. So far we have two treasure words, urgent and hurtling. Next sentence. Elliot sets off over the mountains in Tibet to find his rocket launcher that is hidden in a deep cave. The only way to get there before the meteor strikes is by supersonic jet. Which word or words in that sentence do you think we can write on our treasure coin? I'll read it one more time. The only way to get there before the meteor strikes is by supersonic jet. I think the word strikes. What do you think the word strikes means? I've written the word strikes. Strikes is another word for hit. Okay, next sentence. Luckily, Elliot is a skilled jet pilot. I think there's a word in that sentence we can use for our treasure coins. Which word do you think I'm thinking of? Luckily, Elliot is a skilled jet pilot. I have chosen the word skilled. What do you think the word skilled means? Skilled means he's really good. He's really, really good at flying supersonic jets. Here is the second page. So this is the page of the story map that you learned the actions to yesterday. He grips the controls and the wheels bump on the ground. Screech! Elliot scrambles out of the supersonic jet, up the cliff face and into the cave. Which word in that sentence do you think is one of our treasure words? I think the word scrambles. He scrambles out. It's a bit boring just to say he got out of his jet. So he scrambles out of his supersonic jet. So I've written the word on the whiteboard. You can copy it onto your piece of paper. So far we have 5 treasure words. Urgent, hurtling, strikes, skilled, and scrambles. He swings the barrel of the meteor-busting rocket launcher, holds his breath, and waits. He fires! Kapow! Elliot saves the world from destruction. I think there's a word in that sentence that could be one of our treasure coin words. Elliot saves the world from destruction. I think it's the word destruction. What do you think destruction means? It's kind of like destroy. He saves the world from being destroyed. So I've written the word destruction on my whiteboard. You can copy it onto your piece of paper. Hooray! The Queen gives Elliot an award for his courage and ingenuity. I think there are two really good treasure words in that sentence. The Queen gives Elliot an award for his courage and ingenuity. First word that we're going to write is courage. What do you think courage means? Courage means to be really brave. So I've written the word courage on my whiteboard and you can copy it onto your piece of paper. The other word is ingenuity. Let's look at the picture. What do you think ingenuity means? Ingenuity means he was really clever. So he was brave and clever. So I've written ingenuity on my whiteboard and you can copy it onto your piece of paper. Being a midnight superhero is very tiring. It doesn't leave Elliot with much energy. So by day, Elliot is very quiet. Shh. The end. Here on my whiteboard, I've got all of the treasure words that we wrote down when we read the story Elliot the Midnight Superhero together. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to copy our amazing treasure words and we're going to write them onto our treasure coins. Okay, so I'll show you an example of how to do it. So I'm going to get a treasure coin and I'm going to choose a word. This word was urgent. So I'm going to get my pen and I'm going to copy the word onto my treasure coin. If you haven't used tin foil, that's okay. You just write it on the paper. So urgent. Okay, so I've copied that word, put it aside, and choose another coin. And I'm going to copy the next word. This word was hurtling. The meteor was hurtling towards Earth. Okay, put that aside. So far I've done 2. Your task now is to get all your treasure coins and copy all of the words onto your treasure coins. Some of the treasure words that we wrote down are really tricky and sometimes it's hard to remember what they mean. So what I've done with 2 of them is I've actually drawn a picture to remind me. So ingenuity means like someone's really clever. So I've drawn a light bulb to help me remember what the word ingenuity means. You don't have to draw a light bulb to help you remember. You can draw anything that will help you remember what the word ingenuity means. I've also drawn a picture to help me remember what urgent means. So you can copy my picture or you can draw another picture that is more helpful to you. Some of the other words that you might need to draw pictures for: hurtling. Remember, hurtling, the meteor is hurtling towards Earth. So try and think of a picture you can draw to help you remember what that word means. You might want to draw a picture for destruction. Remember, destruction means that something has been destroyed and broken. Okay, you don't have to do this, but some of you might want to help you remember what the words mean. Here's a game that you can play to help you remember each word. Okay, so you're going to scramble your treasure coins up. Scramble, scramble, scramble. And then you can place them on your table or on your carpet. And you can have an adult say a word and you have to try to find it as quickly as possible. So for example, where is the word destruction? Destruction starts with a d, d, d. Which word here starts with a d, d, d? Oh, that one. Next word. Find hurtling. Hurtling starts with a h, h, h. Which word starts with a h, h, h? That one. Next word. Ingenuity. Ingenuity. Which word starts with an That one. Okay, so you can play this game at home with your grown-up. Ask your grown-up to read a word for you, and then you have to spot it as quickly as possible. Another game you can play is you can have all your treasure coins shiny side up, and then you flip a coin and you have to read it as quickly as possible. Okay, so let's start with this one. Strikes. Okay, once you read it, put it aside. This one. I remember scrambles. This one. Try to remember the story. Which word did we have? That's skilled. This one. I remember courage. So you can play that game either on your own or with the grown-ups. Okay, flip your treasure coins upside down, then you choose one and you read it, and as soon as you've read it, put it aside. The next activity is to use our treasure words in a sentence. So I'm going to choose one of my treasure words, and I want to try to remember how that word was used in the story Elliot the Midnight Superhero. So I've got the word skilled. I'm trying to think back to the story. In the story it says Elliot is a skilled jet pilot. I'm going to write that sentence on my whiteboard. You can write it on a piece of paper. I have two different color pens. The red one is going to be for the treasure word, just to help us remember it, okay? So you can use a pencil and then a different color pencil for your sentences. Elliot is a skilled jet pilot. That's a 6-word sentence. Elliot, capital E, because that's his name. Elliot is get my red pen for my treasure word. I want to copy the spelling from my treasure coin. Skilled. Skilled. Elliot is a skilled jet pilot. What do I need at the end of my sentence? Full stop. Okay, let's check. Elliot is a skilled jet pilot. Excellent. So you can choose some other treasure words, flip it over, read the word and use it in a sentence. Try to remember the story map. We know it really, really well now. Okay, use the sentence from the story map and practice writing that word in a sentence on a piece of paper, okay? Try to use 2 colors if possible, 1 color for the treasure word.